evening, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the film and readings we had this week. Let's start off with the movie. Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. I thought it was alright movie. I don't know much about the book series, but I enjoyed the films as a movie lover. It was interesting to watch, and I can see why people are drawn to movies like this. It had action, mystery, and good looking actors for teens to enjoy. It's a good movie to use as an escape from the real world. Students are attracted to paranormal and different. It's true. They want to be able to have hope that things that are out of the ordinary. The themes of the movies are mystery, action, and fantasy, and a bit of comedy. My favorite quote from the movie is, "I write my own destiny." Percy is tired of having to be perceived as this teen who is destined, destined for something, and he decides to write his own destiny and destroy the bad guy. For the first book that I choose, I decided to do it on a book I read a while ago called House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer. It's the story of a clone who thinks he's not a clone, but soon realizes that he is and why his original copy wants him for. This book has a lot of things that complex. Things like science fiction, drug abuse or drug trafficking, mystery and fiction, isolation, power, lies, and deceit. These themes are not similar to the movie, except for maybe fiction. This book was really good. I think a lot of students will enjoy reading this, especially the students who are fascinated with science fiction or fantasy or any kind. My favorite quote from this book is, "You're too young to understand much, and I wouldn't say anything if you were a real boy." I like this quote because it shows the reality of the situation in the story. Matt isn't just a human being, he's a human clone. Matt is treated like he's not a human being throughout the story. He's in a castle, which is funny because he was born in castle. The last book I read was March, book 3. I reread it because it was a really good graphic novel. It will be a good read for a classroom because of the way it is read. As a graphic novel, this novel will connect with real life situations. That have happened This graphic novel will be responded with positive reviews from students because they won't have to read just any book, but book with illustration in them. I really enjoy this book because it can be relatable to students that are African American and any group. It is based on a real story about the struggles of African American in the classroom. One quote I found to be very profound was, "It matters not whether it is in Angola, Mozambique, Southwest Africa, or Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Harlem, USA. The struggle is the same. It is against a vicious and evil system that is controlled and kept for and by a few white men throughout the world." I choose the same quote because I still found it to be a very powerful quote from this novel. It is a quote that resonates with anyone asking for basic human rights, like the people in the civil rights movement. In the civil rights movement, the Black Panther has asked for, I think in the end, we can all relate to this wonderful piece of literacy. In fact, I think that this book is bringing in the classroom a lot of discussion and controversies, because when we are talking about the civil rights movement, is contradict with some beliefs from different races. For instance, white people may think that uh, black people somehow are different because of the history, the culture, everything. Even though they don't bring that in public, but I feel that there is something inside. Some students, they are going to say something. They are going to opine. They are going to contradict the history. But in fact, I think that this reading is very, very important to discuss in a classroom. And I'm eager to have a class bring that book and suggest that book for reading in a classroom. I love this type of reading because that make a lot of connections between students, culture, races, and somehow at the end people as human beings realize that we are the same. There's no difference between humans. As the quote say, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter where are you coming from, it doesn't matter if you are black, white, rich, poor, we are the same.